How's it going, guys? Dead by Dawn 3 back here again for another must-see horror episode. And in today's must-see horror, I talk about one of my favorite slasher movies. This one is a classic. Everybody knows about it. It's a great film. It is the original Friday the 13th. This is the uncut deluxe edition that I just picked up recently. It comes with a really nice holographic cover and lots of great special features. Excuse me. But yeah, like I said, very great movie. Watch it every Halloween. The music is great, the theme is very good. For those of you who don't know what it's about, basically a group of camp counselors are spending the couple of nights at a summer camp called Camp Crystal Lake. And basically, a few years back, a young boy had drowned in there, and they're aware of it. And I think it was about a year earlier, a couple of camp counselors were killed by someone, but they really don't, like normal, high schoolers. They don't really take that much thought into it, because they're pretty much out there, because they're simply out there just to have a good time, even though they're warned. Like at one point on their way there, this old man who's riding a little bike, is going over there. He's like, "You're doomed. You are all doomed," and he warns them. Like every movie where there's always that one person that knows what's going on, tries to warn them, they don't listen. But yeah, I saw this movie at a really young age, and it was one of the first gorier movies. Because I remember I've seen Halloween. I saw Halloween before I saw this. And since Halloween was almost bloodless, this movie was kind of one of the first bloody movies. Not truly, not like really bloody or anything like that, but there's a lot of scenes that I remember from it, like, there's a shot of the camp counselors at the beginning getting killed. So of course, like every slasher film, of course, they start getting knocked off, start having sex and everything, and they don't know who the killer is until at the very end when they find out that it's the mother of the little boy who drowned, Jason. And it's his mother right there, Mrs. Voorhees. And they find out who, and she's basically trying to get revenge on the camp counselors because when her son Jason drowned, they were all like having sex and doing shit like that. And basically the whole film purpose is to show that doing drugs, sex, and stuff like that is bad, and you are going to be punished by it. So basically, if you do that in movies, then you of course get murdered. There's a lot of great kill scenes in this. Everyone knows them, like the Kevin Bacon death scene on the, in the bed, which of course is fully uncut in this version. It's got a good it's got like 10 seconds more of it or something, but it's really good. And of course, like every other slasher, it's got a twist ending. Well, no, it doesn't have a twist ending. It does have a little twist before the ending. But I've always loved this movie. When I first saw it, I rented it at my old. This is one of those movies that when you're a kid, you rent all the time. But like I said, one of the top slasher films that everyone remembers. As for the rest, I was really, I really liked Part 3, Part 7, and probably Freddy vs. Jason would have, and Part 4, the final chapter. Part 3, 4, 7, and Freddy vs. Jason would have to be my favorite sequels in the Friday the 13th series. I don't really consider Freddy vs. Jason a sequel of Friday the 13th. It's more of a crossover film, so I don't really consider that a sequel to Friday the 13th, and I don't consider it a sequel to a Nightmare on Elm Street, but, like that. I love how this cover is. Like, if you look back really low, you can actually see the counselors, lined up in a row on from the original cover. If you look, they're back there in the moon, and the cabin is behind them. If you look, I don't know if you can see it very well. This camera's not picking it up very well. But yeah, I got this over at Walmart for $7.50. There were a bunch of them over at FY, but didn't have the slipcase. I knew how to get it. You know. I have all the rest of them on. Well, I have part 4 through 10 on DVD already, and I'm probably gonna get the first 3 in deluxe editions. I've had them on VHS, but you know, I want to get part 1 because it was uncut, and I want to get part 3 because of it in 3D, and I'll just go ahead and just get part 2 because I just don't have it on DVD yet. As for the remake, don't even ask me about that. I hated the Friday the 13th remake. It was one of the worst remakes that I think I've ever seen. I despised it when I saw. It's so bad I have not made it through it. I've literally stopped the movie and was just like, ugh. I mean, I just you know, screw this. You know, but of course the original is always a classic. So yeah, guys, I know this was sort of a quick video, but I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this. But thanks for watching this episode of Must See Horror, and I'll be back tomorrow for yet another episode. So yeah.